I have a question out there, ladies and gentlemen. Is it okay to be happy, sad, and enraged all at the same time? I'm gonna ask the panelists that at some point during the show. Willie Epstein Jr., a show enough divided, Super Bowl Super Show preview, and the combatants, if you will, are backstage. We're gonna bring them in here in just a second. I kind of wish we didn't have to have one of these teams in here, but we're gonna get to that here in just a moment. You already know what time it is. I am ready to go. And if you are to throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And y'all stop. Let's go. So y'all already know I'm more or less like, well, we could just say I'm all in on the fact that the way that video ended is not the same way that this game will end, with the Chiefs once again throwing their hands in the air as if they didn't care. Sapphire, Fear of the North, Tisha, the OG of the OGs for a show sort of divided, and longtime friend of the show, of the Shakeback Media Group. He's back by popular demand. He's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, representing the Eagles, and he is none other than Mike Fuji. Mike, what's going on, sir?
To the fullest 71 hours. We're getting ready to kick off Mission 59. We're going to get sleazy in the Big Easy. There's payback. There's no dynasty this time around. Jalen and Saquon Barkley, your MVP, has a lot to say about that, along with second-year man out of Georgia, Jalen Carter.
Woo!
Well,
Woo!
I hope the on-field. Look, I hope the on-field and the ones that get paid professionally have that same type of energy this coming Sunday. Tisha, what you got to say about that?
How in the heck do you follow that up? Mike, so good to see you. I'm very happy you're here. This is going to be a fun one.
Here. Thank you for the invite. Sapphire, it's a pleasure to meet you. Willie, thank you again. And the arch nemesis right across. 3 hours come Sunday. Mission 59. We are pumped here in Philly. A little retribution from 57 to be paid back.
All right, go back to your corners. Let's get into this thing. Let's get a quick update from around the league with some Raider news, because I am a Raider fan. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I got to do something real quick. I need for everybody out there that's watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course, Instagram TV and Twitter. I got something for you guys. Hold on.
Well, really, you go against your arch nemesis in the AFC West?
Listen, there's a method. There's a method to the madness. Just give me a few minutes.
Wow,
we're gonna get there. Just follow along. Okay. Yes, I was talking about the Raiders, and then I put on the Chiefs hat. That's very fitting. We've got offensive coordinator in there now, Chip Kelly from Ohio State, of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
Well, the with the little T, little H, and little E, Ohio State Buckeyes won the national championship this year behind a plethora of wide receivers. I don't understand how this school continues to put out the receivers that they do, but that's neither here nor there. Chip Kelly is the OC in Vegas. A lot of people in Raider Nation were a little mixed up a little bit about this. Me personally, I think it's going to be a good fit as long as we can get the players in there. Sapphire, you're there, or you're close to the scene there in Columbus. Give us a little background on Chip Kelly and his time there at Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, it even predates the Ohio State University, right?
Stop
I
it,
mean,
please.
You want, like you said, the right type of quarterback, somebody that can drop back and just deliver the mail, right? I already think they know who the Raiders they already know who they have in mind. And I really think that Kelly think about his time with Oregon. Think about his time with, the Eagles. He is going to be the perfect piece to what system Pete Carroll, Tom Brady, and the rest of the Raiders organization are going to put in place. If I'm a Raiders fan, I'm as excited as you are because of that.
Well, that was nice. We appreciate that here in Raider Nation. Mike, your thoughts on Chip Kelly? I know you're on the opposite side of the world when Chip Kelly first broke in at Oregon, but any thoughts on Chip Kelly being named the offensive coordinator with the Las Vegas Raiders?
Well, the first time he's back in the NFL. I mean, 10-6 seasons. Basically, he got rid of Shady McCoy for Kiko Alonso. Cut Deshaun Jackson, who later went to Washington. Mm-hmm. He was basically forced owner Jeff Lurie's hand. Getting rid of those guys. I don't know, just not a player. Just didn't work out here. Jeff Lurie fired him after the 16th season. Hired Doug Peterson. The Eagles go on to win the Super Bowl the following year. The only good thing I'll say to Chip Kelly that is left over from the Chip Kelly era to this day is Eagles offensive line guru Jeff Stoutland, who was made a guy like Mekhi Becton, #1 pick from the Jets, resurrected his career to Stoutland University, probably the best offensive line coach in all football. The guy is a genius. He could, just turn players' careers around, not only as a person, but just, I'd say the best offensive line coach in football.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Chip Kelly, well, I'm hoping, of course, as a Raider fan, that he learned from some of his mistakes when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, and they had that offense that they thought they were still in college, because they would have a possession time of about maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and the guys on defense are like, man, can y'all just hold on to the ball for more than a couple of minutes? So hopefully he's learned from that. Sapphire, let me ask you this in regards to Tisha, because I already know what her answer is going to be.
Why does he always say that about you, Tisha?
Because it's true. In an attempt to maybe put a little fear out there, for lack of a better phrase, with the moves that you see the Raiders making, Sapphire.
Yeah.
Is it pushing the Raiders closer to the Chiefs, in your opinion?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I mean, for me, this is just me. And Miss T, I love you, and I'm trying to be transparent and whatever all the other fluff words are. I'm seriously, I'm sticking to the Chiefs are old.
Mm-hmm.
You get what you get from them. When I think about the potential for the Raiders, I think spread offenses, right? I think about constant motion. I think about running off tackle plays. I think about the quarterback, whoever that is going to be, Willie, and you can speak to that.
Shedeur Sanders.
What's that?
Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, right? I think about a quarterback that can use his legs. I mean, the sky is the limit, right? Whereas when I think about the Chiefs, I mean, we know what we're going to get. Travis Kelce, Pudge and all, because he still looks good, Miss T. He still looks good, okay? They have older running backs, injured running backs, right? I just see that the Philadelphia Eagles know what they're going to be up against, and they already have a multifaceted approach. We're going to run on you, right? And if that doesn't work, Jalen's going to throw the ball. I think they have too many weapons to offset what we know the Chiefs do.
Mm-hmm.
That's my answer to your question.
Okay. Tisha, any thoughts on Chip Kelly becoming an offensive
I hate that.
offensive coordinator with the Raiders? We're gonna catch y'all. Yes, shake your head like this.
I didn't hear it. Sorry, what?
I said shake your head like this. We're getting closer to you guys. Shake your head like this. Come on.
Oh,
No? Okay. You said exactly what I thought you would say. You are who I thought you were. All right. Before we actually get to the how we got here for each team, I did find something that I thought was interesting that I wanted to bring to y'all's attention. Of course, this involves the Chiefs and the Eagles, and I'm gonna bring it to the stage right now simply because it's fitting. And with all of the talk that we've had, or it's been out there for the last seems like the entire season. Why am I rambling? I'm looking for the sound. That's what I'm doing. But anyway, so look, we're just gonna get to it. Did you see that? And here it is right here. Bring everybody back on the screen, and here we're gonna play this right now.
Has football got you down? Are you experiencing uncontrollable rage every time Patrick Mahomes makes a play? Are you screaming the league is rigged before the game even starts? Do you have an irrational, unexplained hatred for pop stars? If so, you may be suffering from a rare but serious condition called Chiefs derangement syndrome. But don't worry, help is here. Introducing Krylenol, the first FDA-approved treatment for Chiefs derangement syndrome, or CDS. Krylenol works fast to help you accept reality that maybe the Chiefs are just better. Patrick Mahomes is inevitable. Refs don't miss the call. Your team's just undisciplined. Andy Reid is simply better than your head coach. With Krylenol, you'll finally be able to enjoy football again, even if it means watching the Chiefs win the Super Bowl again. Side effects may include accepting Mahomes as the GOAT, refraining from tweeting #NFL is rigged, developing sudden respect for Travis Kelce, reduced blood pressure when Taylor Swift appears on screen, and an uncontrollable do not take Krylenol if you're a lifelong Bills, Bengals, or Raiders fans. Side effects may be irreversible. Ask your doctor if Krylenol is right for you. Get back to loving football again. Krylenol, because the Chiefs aren't going, and neither is your pain.
Beautiful.
Too much.
Interesting.
I have free samples, by the way.
That was this episode's edition of Henry Rowan Gardner. We thank you for your appearance. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that, Tisha. I could not. I think I may have seen your tonsils. You were laughing so hard.
Hey man, it's good stuff. You should all try it.
Never.
Tylenol.
Never.
Mike, I'm pretty sure that commercial is being outlawed in the southern Pennsylvania or whatever part of Pennsylvania you're in the Philly area.
Philly.
Yeah.
Philly
what are we?
Philly to the fullest. Right in the heart of Philly, baby. Can't get no else better place than right where we're right now. Mission 59, 3 days away, like 71 hours, 70 hours, and some change to rock this party.
All right, so Sapphire, do you need a prescription of Tylenol?
You know what? I mean, honestly, because we talked about this last night on Fear of the North, our podcast, and it's like, I'm not going to hate. The Kansas City Chiefs are the Kings. That's it. Full stop. And the Eagles have to go in there and dethrone them. I don't hate on greatness. And if Kansas City wins that game, which I don't see that they're going to, then we have to give props where props are due. That's it.
I don't have to do nothing.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Three-peat in the NFL?
Did you not hear what that dude said at the end of that commercial? He said, if you are a Raiders, Bengals, or Bills fan, do not take. So I'm going to do what I do.
Then you're on the DSM-4 criteria or whatever it is now, right? It's a psychosis. You do need those prescriptions, right? I love great football. And even though I know in my mind as a NFL fan, the referees have a very special relationship with the Kansas City Chiefs, that doesn't mean anything. They are bona fide, legit, like champions. And I have to give them respect.
Agreed. I mean, Ric Flair always said to be the man, you got to beat the man.
I love that. Mike, did I tell you that I loved you? No, you didn't go all Ric Flair on me right now.
Yes, I did. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're not. I'm about ready to throw up right now. Okay. So let's move this thing along. How do we get here? Kansas City 15-2 American Football Conference West champs for I want to say the 9th straight year. The number 1 seed clinched first round bye, beat the Houston Texans in the divisional round. Questionable calls there that Sapphire may have been referencing. I don't know. Maybe we kind of talked about that before. The Kansas City Chiefs, and then they beat the Buffalo Bills in the AFC title game, 32-29. It was a heck of a game, so we dealt with that last episode. So here are my questions. I'm gonna go around the room. Sapphire, is this Andy Reid's best coaching job ever?
No.
Okay, tell me why.
I mean, I just really felt like his first Super Bowl was his best, and it had a lot to do with the off field. Like, I was very upset the Eagles let him go, to be very frank with you, right? And I think that, he's an overcomer when you look at the non-football related challenges that he and his family has had. He kept his focus. He was open, and he identified in Patrick Mahomes and embellished his strengths and created a system around him, right? Like, that's what I think as a Browns fan, we continue to fail to do. And I won't take you there because I'm still very emotional about Myles Garrett's announcement. It's not cookie cutter. The teams that are successful, they either draft for their system or they build their system around their draft. And I really think that Andy Reid is just dynamic. He is dynamic. And I'm going to put my age out there, Miss T. Mike, Willie. I remember young Andy Reid when he competed in the punt, pass, kick competition. I'm not going to say the year, but I remember he was like 6 foot tall at 13, 14. I remember vividly seeing him in his Rams helmet uniform. Right. Okay. I mean, he is special. To me, he is the GOAT in the NFL.
Really? That's
hands down.
And I not to cut you off, but I think we can have a more legitimate conversation about him being up there with Belichick and Chuck Noll or anybody else you want to put in there. We're gonna save that for another day. Mike, you were obviously you're an Eagles fan. You've seen some great coaching jobs from Andy Reid out there, but is this past season, is that his best coaching job to date?
The season here, I believe it isn't. Just what Sapphire said, his first championship, winning the Super Bowl in Kansas City. He had Alex Smith. He drafted Patrick Mahomes. Just built it, as Sapphire said, basically just built that whole system around Patrick Mahomes. And, he's up there, I forget how many wins, but lost to Brady twice, and he lost to Joe Burrow. And, right now it's just, the way this dynasty's going, winning 4 Super Bowls, it's, Mahomes isn't even 30 years old yet.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Don't remind me.
I mean, as an Eagles fan, as a football fan, you know, you got to give credit where it's due. And, you know, I'm a diehard Eagles season ticket holder, 30 plus years. But in the grand scheme of it, I'll tell it like it is. Hopefully there won't be a three-peat on Sunday. But, you know, you got to give Kansas City credit where it's due. Just like nobody can stand New England. But, you know, greatness is greatness.
Okay, Tisha. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because Mike said a lot right there that I want to react to, but just not right now, or even not even during this show. But is this Andy Reid's best coaching job of his career?
Excuse me. I want to say yes. You know, it's he's near the end of his career, I believe. So I kind of think that gives, you know, a little bit of an extra push. But I completely agree with Sapphire, man. She made some really, really good points about Andy and how he's built up. He's just like she said, he's the GOAT. I mean, they don't make minds like his. He's just different. So
I think for Andy Reid, this was his best coaching job because of, I mean, the questions about the offense. Then you had the questions about the offensive line. Then you had all of the injuries that they sustained. Last year was pretty doggone good too, but this year without Rashee Rice and having to patch together that wide receiver core and Patrick Mahomes making mistakes that we normally didn't see him make earlier in the year, it's hard for me to argue against this season being his best. But I understand all y'all's points, and I thank you for them. Okay, last question regarding this particular part of the bracket, if you will. If the Chiefs win, Sapphire, what will be their bigger emotion, relief or joy?
For me, based on what I hear the leader of their team, Patrick Mahomes, say, I would believe that it would be relief. You know, when you start out the season by saying our goal is to three-peat, as Jay-Z would say, what more can I say to you? So for me, it's really-
one programming note. We can no longer say three-peat. That we can no longer say that because it is copyrighted by whatchamacallit, Pat
Riley.
Yeah.
Mr. Right.
So we can't say that anymore.
So I'll say 3 in a row. Right. I mean, because I really think that was more of a call, a challenge that Patrick Mahomes gave to his teammates, right? And I would say it would be relief because of that.
I think that's what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said after they got that second one done. I want to say it was relief. Mike, relief or joy? Bigger emotion for the Chiefs?
Got a little bit of both.
No. No. You don't get away with that, sir.
I would probably say joy because you're going to be the first team to win three Super Bowls in a row and, you know, triple threat. Can I call it that? I mean, yeah, you know, it's first time it's ever been done in NFL history. And I would say joy. You know,
okay. So Tisha, this is your team, and you know the amount of success that you've experienced. Your cup runneth over. But for this team, and in you in particular, I can't get my words out. You in particular, are you going to feel relief if they win, or are you going to feel more joy if they win?
So, I know myself. I mean, I would say joy. I'm used to not feeling relief. It's we play some stressful football over here. So, but I'm pretty good at getting happy when we win. So I'm gonna go with joy.
All right. So you hear from the panel there about whether the bigger emotion will be joy or relief for the Chiefs should they win the third one in a row. You thought you had me, didn't you? So yeah, that's what that is. I personally think that it'll be relief because what they have had to do over these last 3 years and the amount of games that they played and the work that they put in, not to say that other teams don't work as hard, but obviously when you're standing at that point, they're doing something that you're not. But I mean, it would be, I feel like it would be pure relief. And then they're going to try to bite it again next season if it happens. All right. Comment? Did I miss something? That's Sapphire, you had something?
I was just verbally like affirming what you're saying. And by the way, let me put a postscript on there. I'm very happy for Kareem Hunt. Yeah. You know, Ohio kid was chewed up and spit out by the Browns organization, and he's back home, and he has an opportunity to get his ring.
That's a shake back story right there in itself. All right, Philadelphia Eagles, Mike Squad. How did we get here? 14-3 in the regular season, NFC East champs, and the number 2 seed. They did something that no one else has done in the last 20 years, and that's win the NFC East in back-to-back seasons. In the wild card round, they beat a Green Bay team that many people thought would go further than they did. In a hotly contested Rams game at the Link, 28-22, and then the destruction that was the Commanders, 55-23, as the Eagles ran for 7, not 1, not 2, not 3, so on and so on, but 7 touchdowns in one game. That's never been done. And as a sidebar and as an attempt to troll Cowboy fans, the Eagles ran for more touchdowns in one game than your team did all season. Okay, Mike, this is your squad.
Yes,
I got some questions. Here we go.
Sure.
How much, if any, does the Philadelphia Eagles 27th ranked passing offense concern you?
I mean, Jalen Hurts has been questioned all year, regarding the Eagles' passing game being near, the bottom, as you said, 27th. But, it's a dual threat. I mean, Saquon Barkley and this number 1 defense have carried this team. You go back to Super Bowls have been won, smash mouth football, defense have won Super Bowls, have won championships. I mean, Jalen Hurts, probably the most disrespected man in the NFL this year. I mean, the stats were down. You look at Mahomes' stats, almost the same. Josh Allen, nobody's getting ridiculed there. But Jalen Hurts was taking a lot of heat this year about the passing game being down. But, without Jalen Hurts under center, the general of this football team, Saquon Barkley does not get his yardage without Jalen Hurts under center.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. This is a little bit off the script, but how is the relationship between AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts for real? Is it what they're saying, or is it what they're alluding that it is, or they're just making it up or making too much of it?
Well, living the toughest, New York, Boston, whatever, I'll say Philadelphia is the hardest media in this country. It's, we're just, as they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't believe, I believe it was the Pittsburgh game where the passing game was getting ridiculed and everything. Eagles came out, blew out Pittsburgh. Everything was roses after that. First of all, Jalen Hurts is AJ Brown's son's godfather and their best friend. So it's just, I think it's just the Philly media loves to firestorm anything and everything. But when it takes off out of Philly, it just blows up. You can go back to T.O. McNabb. Not that I want to relive that 20 years ago, but I think these guys are fine. Winning cures all at the end of the day.
That's exactly what I thought.
Winning cures all. So,
okay, Sapphire. I heard you laughing pretty loudly.
You know what? Because Mike Fuji gets it. He gets it. You know,
talk to
true,
us.
True Eagles fan doesn't give a shinola about style points, right, Mike Fuji?
Right. It's all about wins, as Jalen said, at the end of the game.
That's it. And you know what's amazing to me that I understood, I think since week 5, okay? The Eagles have run more and passed less than any other team in the NFL.
All right.
And yes, like I say to Miss T, haters gonna hate. But the thing about young Jalen Hurts, when you look at, I believe it's the number of wins that he has had in his career, 51, and that he has been to the big dance twice, okay? Where the beloved Lamar Jackson and the greatness of Mr. Allen haven't been there one time, speaks to and confirms what he has said consistently in his post-game pressers. He defines success as wins. And this is also where I have to give Howie Roseman uber props, because he knows how to get the pieces to put around Jalen Hurts to bring all of it to fruition. Talk to me, brother Fuji.
You hit the nail on the head. Went out. Nick Sirianni, 2-2, was on the hot seat this time last year. Started off 10-1, dropped 7 in a row. Everybody wanted to run out Nick Sirianni, take him to the airport. I was ready to pick him up, take him right to Philadelphia International. We were ready to run him out of town. Three years in the Super Bowl twice in the last 3 years.
That's right.
Here's the thing. Howie went out, brought in Vic Fangio, who was ridiculed in Miami with his defense. Brought in Kellen Moore. Now, Jalen Hurts has had an offensive coordinator for the last 9 years going back to college. Now, this man, like I said, was ridiculed. Nick Sirianni ridiculed. Howie Rosen goes out, picks up Zach Bond, who Vic Fangio knew his talent. A special teamer, a third string linebacker. The guy has played lights out. He's probably going to be the top linebacker or the top defensive player on the market going into free agency in another 3 weeks from now. But Zach Bond, you know, he drafted the Kobe Dean 3rd round. The guy stepped in. Vic Fangio just took one of the lowest defenses from last year and made it number 1. This Eagles defense is ranked number 1, not since 1991 when they had the gangrene Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Seth Joyner, and so on.
I love it. I always love.
I'm gonna throw in there on top of that. They went to UT and got Kenyon Mitchell. Come on,
right? Exactly.
Come on.
Let's not forget Cooper DeJean stepped
Ooh.
in.
Cooper DeJean has had a season.
Stepped in for Avonte Maddox, and the guy just played lights out. You got, like we said, you got to give Howie Roseman props for his drafts for the last couple of years. Jalen Carter, the modern day Jerome Brown right now.
And you know what, gentlemen? It really is all about opportunity, because look, Zach Bond is playing on a 1-year contract.
Right.
Come on.
So
Yes.
that leads to the final question. I think you may have answered it, but what does this look like if the Eagles lose for Sirianni? I mean, do you think he goes back on the hot seat, or do you think he's overcome enough this season to have that talk put to bed?
I mean, hey, he's the first Eagles coach to get this franchise to the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah.
Andy Reid didn't do it. Dick Vermeil didn't do it. Doug Peterson didn't do it. Sirianni gets a new contract. You know, we're not putting that L in this conversation. Refuse. Philly, Eagles Nation, we refuse to lose. As Chuck D said. As Chuck D was spitting back in 1988 for Public Enemy. It takes the nations of millions to hold us back.
Did I tell you I love Mike Fuji? No, he didn't. So one DMC up in here.
The word L. This is not a losing city anymore.
That's right.
You know, the Eagles were bad for years. Now our luck's changing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Love it. Love it.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and move to the next part of the show before we make our predictions and get up out of here. We're gonna play a game that's called If Was a Fifth. So basically, I'm gonna make some what if statements or some what if questions, and you have to answer them. What if? So, who's first? Who wants to go first?
Mike Fuji.
Put the bullseye on me. Put the bullseye on Philly. We're from Philly, flipping Philly. No one likes us. We don't care. But then again, the nation might be rooting for the Eagles this time around.
Absolutely.
Right. All right. Here we go.
Excuse me.
What if Mike Jalen Hurts throws or has more than 40 pass attempts in this game? What happens? Or what if that happens? Fill in the blank.
The Eagles will win the Super Bowl.
With I think that's going to be your answer to everything. All right, Sapphire, take the same thing. What if Jalen Hurts has 40 or more passing attempts in this game?
What Mike Fuji just said.
The Eagles win the Super Bowl?
Absolutely.
I said 40 passing attempts, y'all.
Absolutely. The Eagles win Super Bowl 59.
Okay. I thought that would be under. And I was gonna say it this way. I was gonna put a number on it. What if Jalen Hurts runs for 25 yards? I thought that would be the answer, but I don't know. I'm babbling. So tell me why, Sapphire, that will be the case if he has to throw the ball 40 times or more.
Because the Kansas City defense would be focused more on Saquon and Gainwell, right? This is the beauty of what I feel Jalen Hurts, the general, can do. Regardless of whether they plan to attack the run or the pass, it doesn't matter. Jalen Hurts, and especially him as a running quarterback as well. Okay, he's too many options. He's too many options. And I want to go back to a couple weeks ago because I was down in DC. Commanders were all on fire, and they have a great young squad. They're just not ready yet. I was probably one of 3 Eagles fans at a pub. Okay, when Saquon ripped that first run, the first offensive play, I mean, I felt like I was doing like exercises at the gym. Okay, Mike Fuji.
Getting that workout in.
I mean, it was on like a pot of neck bones. It's like, what don't people understand? And again, I got to give props because, and Mike Fuji, help me out. I think I recall them mentioning a quote or referencing a statement that Saquon Barkley said something about, we're going to be the team that proves you can run into the Super Bowl. Help me out with that.
They did. I mean, it's, you look at Saquon Barkley, you look at Derrick Henry. The running game is rejuvenated in the NFL. Let's throw Josh Jacobs in there. He was top 5. All these running backs like Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, those guys weren't getting paid. Baltimore threw the money at King Henry. The Eagles threw the money at Saquon Barkley. And, the game's rejuvenated. Let's go back to Smash Mouth football, NFC East, whatever you want to call it. It's the run sets up the pass.
Thank you.
The running game is rejuvenated in the 2024-25 year.
Absolutely. I'm co-signing on that, brother Mike. I'm co-signing.
I kind of wouldn't mind seeing the old wing tee back in the play again myself. They'll do a wing tee, but it'll be like what Navy runs. It'll be a spread wing tee. I mean, but
let me just say this about the Eagles' offensive line right now. That there's probably not much media coverage on it, but if everybody watched the NFC title game, Cam Jurgens did not start that game. And he already came out today and said that he is fighting a back injury. Landon Dickerson, the left guard, stepped in to play center. He was nicked up, left that game for a short time on a bad knee, came back in. Cam Jurgens stepped in. Landon Dickerson stepped right back in the left guard. Now, these guys are warriors. Cam Jurgens, who is the successor to one Eagles Hall of Famer, Jason Kelce, who Jason Kelce helped Howie Roseman draft Cam Jurgens.
Wow.
So, as you say, if Jalen Hurts throws the ball 40 times, Saquon Barkley may not be pounding that ball with Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson nicked up. So Jalen Hurts, even though Saquon's wearing that cape, the Philly general might be number one, taking this like he should have been the MVP of that Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a great game, over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Eagles were owning that game. And let's see, Jalen Hurts may just bring out the party this week and win that MVP. Maybe you'll share with Saquon.
Yeah.
As a dual threat.
Here's my thought about that. If you have an Eagles team that is essentially the same, but instead of Miles Sanders, you have Saquon Barkley, that would lead you to believe that you're going to be able to have a more favorable outcome in this game, and not just one man make the entire team, but we've seen what Saquon has done and what he has meant for the Eagles and what he did mean to at one point to the New York Football Giants. Okay, I got one more if it was a fifth, and then we're gonna talk about who's winning and who's the MVP, and then we out. One more if it was a fifth. What if Chris Jones, Sapphire, goes over 2.5 sacks by himself?
Okay, and I'm trying to be neutral here. It doesn't matter. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. I believe the Eagles have too many weapons, right? Too many weapons to lose this game. Congratulations, Chris Jones. You got your 2 sacks. It doesn't matter. Period. Full stop.
Strong words from the lady.
Yes, sir.
Queen of the fear of the North. All right.
I'm just saying.
I'm scared. All right, Mike, what happens or what if Chris Jones exceeds 2.5 sacks?
If he gets 2.5 sacks, I'm telling you, this Eagles team is on a mission. There was retribution from 2 years ago. Like, as you said, Miles Sanders compared to Saquon Barkley is apples to oranges. Here's the thing 2 years ago. As I said, Jalen Hurts was dominating that game. The Eagles got away from the running game, taking away Miles Sanders. I don't know what it was, but Saquon Barkley, he's stuck it to the Giants already. The man is on a mission. The man is about 30 yards away from breaking Terrell Davis's single season and postseason record. So,
and I just want to co-sign because, again, check my math. Haven't the Eagles averaged about 179 yards rushing per game this season?
Yep.
You're in that neighborhood, yes.
Okay, so when you think about the Dolphins, the Steelers, the Dolphins again, I think it's 72, 73, like they're sniffing that air. And by the way, those were the Super Bowl champions, 72, I'm trying to remember 72, 73, and 75, right? 72, 73 Dolphins, 75 Steelers. Like, Mike, I'm so feeling this. And yes, I'm subjective, but I just feel like the Eagles are on a mission, man. They are like simpatico. They are focused. They are like blocking out all of the noise. This is their game to lose.
All right. I just, as we said, they came in 3 points of beating Kansas City 2 years ago. You started out 10-1, you dropped 7 in a row, you lost to Tampa. You got embarrassed in Tampa in the wild card.
It was crazy.
Sirianni was going to be written out of here.
Yep.
And, props to Howie Roseman, Vic Fangio, Kellen Moore. As Jalen Hurts said, I don't walk through the fire just to smell the smoke. I mean, you went out and got Saquon. And yeah, by the way, Saquon Barkley, his birthday is Sunday. Cooper DeJean, his birthday is Sunday.
Wow.
33 and 26 equals 59.
Woo!
Okay. There's a little.
That was powerful, Mike. That was powerful.
There's a little flavor in your ear. As Craig Mack said. As Craig Mack said, a little flavor in your ear.
I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so are we ready to talk about who's winning this thing and why?
Hey, I think it's just going to be a dogfight.
I think you guys have already said who's going to win without saying who's going to win, right?
I believe so, but I mean, it's you got to knock the champs off the mountain. That's
so. Mike, tell everybody who wins, why, and who's the MVP.
I believe the Eagles win, and I'm not saying they're going to, a runaway. I think it's going to be a little closer than a lot of people anticipate. The Chiefs, they got their dynasty at stake, but the Eagles, I just think, Lady Luck's in her corner this week. I mean, wait, say the 3 questions. I know you said the MVP. What were the first 2?
Well, it was who's winning, why, and who's the MVP.
I say the Eagles win. Why are they going to win? Because it's just, honestly, the Eagles are just better, more round talented. It's talent versus dynasty.
And your MVP.
It's their Eagles year.
And your MVP?
It's going to be shared. Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts.
Sapphire, who's winning? Why? Who's the MVP?
The Eagles, and whether they run or pass. I mean, it really depends on what we see the Kansas City defense put out there, right? I mean, it's just they're prepared to win either way, okay? And I'd have to agree with Mike. I could see co-MVPs. I would love to see Jalen Hurts win it because he's been hated on so much this season. And I just think it would really tamp down on the haterism, if you will. But I see the Eagles winning. And I'm going to say 31-23.
All right. And for me, further explaining or actually getting into the explanation of why I'm wearing a Kansas City Chiefs hat, I am just trying anything at this point. It's called reverse psychology.
Oh, Lord.
So I figure if I wear the hat, the show before the Super Bowl, then they'll lose. I don't believe in witchcraft or any of the other stuff. I'm just saying, reverse psychology. Anything short of somebody getting injured seriously, the Chiefs have to lose this game. But with that being said, I'm going to pick the Eagles to do it. They're going to run all over a team that has not allowed a 100-yard rusher in I don't know how long, in the playoffs, that is. So I think they're going to get it going, the running game. The defense is going to be able to do just enough to get Patrick Mahomes off the spots, and the Eagles are going to win 31-24.
Okay.
And Jalen Hurts. No. Saquon Barkley will be your MVP.
Okay. So we were like a point off. Okay, that's cool. Now I feel like I'm legit because I'm aligned with you on the score. I feel like I'm legit. I will
don't let that be your reason for feeling legit.
But I will say, I'm really looking to see Kenyon Mitchell. I have a feeling that he's going to have like the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put that out there. You got my receipts, right?
I got you.
All right. And then lastly, real quick, I think the Eagles would be the perfect landing spot for Myles Garrett. And that's a conversation for another time.
Oof.
Well, there was actually, today they had WIP, 94 WIP here. It was on Twitter, and I saw it. And here, Ike Reese, who played for the Eagles, is a co-host, and a couple other of the guys there. And Myles Garrett was walking by, and they were saying something to Myles Garrett that he's going to be an Eagle, and he just waved and just walked the other way. But they were
beast. I mean, would be the perfect addition to that line. Look at your cap space. I think Jalen's the only 21 million. I mean, I'm just saying.
Jordan Davis.
Mike, can you make it happen?
Wow, Howie can make it happen in a heartbeat.
That's right.
I think if they actually go after Myles, it really would depend on the outcome of this game.
Why do you say that?
If they win the Super Bowl, if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, I don't think they go and get him.
Oh,
well, I'll say this: let's throw props to the 15-year veteran Brandon Graham, who's coming back after a torn bicep.
Yeah, that's big too.
I mean, BJ, props to him, taking my hat off to him. It's the only sack in Super Bowl 52 is when he knocked the ball loose on Brady, recovered by Derek Barnett. So I'd say BG, come back, you win this, you go out in style.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so that's our final thoughts. Before we get up out of here, I gotta play the sponsor who's paying the bills. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Then we're going to roll up out of here.
Ladies, life can get overwhelming, but you don't have to navigate it alone. At Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions, we specialize in helping women like you to regain clarity, confidence, and control. I'm Patrice Epteen, a certified life coach, here to walk alongside you through life's toughest moments. Whether it's relationships, mental health, or building a stronger mindset, together we'll create a plan tailored just for you to step into your best self. Take the first step today. Visit Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions by calling for your free consultation at 469-358-5241. You're strong, capable, and deserving of the life you dream of. Let's make it happen together. Visit Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions by calling for your free consultation at 469-358-5241. Whether it's relationships, mental health, or building a stronger mindset, visit Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions by calling for your free consultation at 469-358-5241. Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions.
Yes, place the call because 20% off for our services, whether you need it, whether you want to be a client or whether you want to be certified. So, all right, guys, great stuff. Tisha had to drop off. You guys don't see her out there any longer. She had to drop off for a moment and was not able to return. For everybody out there, we got one show left, a show not invited. Season 3 wraps up after the Super Bowl this time next week. And, hopefully, well, I'm just saying. All right, let's get out of here, y'all. It's time to go. For Brian, for Leslie, for Regina, for Sapphire, for Dwayne, for Donnie, for all y'all across the planet. Y'all take care of each other. Y'all hug each other. Y'all love each other. We'll holler y'all again real soon. Peace. We out.
Thank you for having me. Go Birds.
Go Birds.